Welcome to Elevate Your Life and Soul. I'm your host, Marla Kennedy, life coach, mama, and spiritual soul seeker. Each week, this podcast will bring you interviews, stories, and mentoring so you can truly know your value, know your worth, and elevate all areas of your life. Let's rise together. Hi, Karina. Thank you so much for jumping on with me today. I'm so happy that you're here. And I'd love you to just quickly jump in and introduce yourself and tell me who you are.
Okay. Thanks, Marla. Thank you so much for inviting me to come on and chat to you today. I just love the difference that you're making in the world, and I'm really grateful that you asked me to chat with you. So I'm Karina Barrett. I'm a women's empowerment coach. I live in Albany in Western Australia. I also am an EFT coach and facilitator, and I hold women's circles in my home, and I have online programs.
Beautiful, amazing. I'm so grateful that you're here, and I love all the work that you're doing. So you're my first guest. I'm really excited. And just before we jump in and get into all the good stuff, what was the last thing that you ate?
Okay, so the last thing I ate just then was a toasted ham, cheese, tomato and Castello white cheese toasted sandwich.
Yeah, that sounds delicious.
It's beautiful.
It sounds really good. And how do you start your day generally?
Yeah, so I start my day with rituals, and I've got lots of rituals that I do. They're not necessarily the same rituals that I do every day. Most days though, when I get up and get in the shower, I'll do 5 gratitudes, and I'll do 5 affirmations, and then I'll go out and put my oil diffuser on, do my stuff in my house, and then I come down to my office, in my actual office area, and I'll put my diffuser on down here and my salt lamp and do some other rituals. I might do journaling or read some pages of a book, or I normally do a gratitude carta, which I think you're, you know, that gratitude carta as well. And yeah, not every day is the same. And sometimes I might even do EFT. It just depends on the actual day.
Yep. And is that what you did this morning?
Yes, I did this morning. That's exactly what I did.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Do you start your day with rituals?
Yeah, look, rituals have been a very important part of my day for a long time. I do have a 10-week-old, so lately my day hasn't been starting with rituals. But I do try to bring them in throughout my day. I think they're really important and really valuable, and as soon as I get a chance to reincorporate that into my day again, I will be, because they're really valuable. Yeah. And so what compelled you to become a women's empowerment coach?
Years ago, when I was really challenged with a lot of, I was being challenged in my life since I was a young child, because there was a lot of domestic violence when I grew up. And then I married into a relationship that was very similar. So I never felt safe to talk to anyone about anything. And, 20 years ago, there really wasn't the same people around like there are now, like coaches, etc., around that you can actually go and talk to and be vulnerable and be safe. So I sort of suffered in silence for a long, long time and never told anyone my truth, and had a mask and pretended life was all good when it really wasn't. So when, we've had a few things go on because I'm married for the second time. So we've got a blended family and 5 kids. So it's been pretty full on. And, we've had a lot of other challenges along the way. So it got to a stage where I needed to reach out and ask for help again, because I was self-sabotaging. I wasn't coping, didn't want to leave the house, had anxiety, and I didn't want to talk to my friends. So I learned personal development. And then that made me think, well, you know what, I could actually support other women with that, because of all the life experiences that I've had. I know how women feel, and I can have that space for women to be vulnerable and come and talk to me and support them through any challenges they've had. So that's what actually made me decide to do this. So women get to have a voice and they don't have to suffer in silence.
Mm, beautiful. And how did you get started with rituals? Talk me through that.
With rituals. That was part of when I first started doing personal development work, when I did a workshop with a couple called Alexi and Preston, Alexi Panos and Preston Smiles, and I started with that gratitude kata. Yeah, gratitude was the very first thing that I started to do, and then that gratitude kata. And that's what started me doing rituals. And then if I missed a day not doing it, I knew how crappy my day would be.
Wow.
Yeah, if I didn't do it. It's just it's a powerful way to start, I think, to set your intention for the day and to set up for a really positive day.
And for those that don't know, what is a kata? Like, what's a gratitude kata?
Yeah, so gratitude, I don't know how to explain that now. That's a tricky question. The gratitude kata is like a little saying that I say. Is that how you would explain it? So like I thank the universe and I thank all people. I thank Mother Earth and different bits and pieces, and I do actions with it. So it's a ritual, but it's got actions that go with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very grounding. And I think because it's got the actions, it's got a lot more meaning behind it instead of, even though I do say gratitudes, doing the actions for that means it comes a lot from my heart space. It just is really special to me to do that.
Yeah. What do you find so powerful about doing that? What does it bring about for you?
Yeah. Obviously gratitude. I think it just really sets me up with a lot of, like, the gratitude to me brings a lot of self-love, if that makes sense. It just makes me feel really empowered to know that I've set my day up properly to be grateful for every single thing in my life. And it enables me to come from a different place and serve my clients on a different level.
Yep. Yeah, amazing. And why do you think people fail at rituals?
I think people fail at rituals because they don't honour themselves enough to make the time for themselves. In my experience with my ladies and my clients, they'll start off, and I've been guilty of that too, Marla, I must say. When I first started doing them, like I said, I'd miss days of doing that kata, and I'd feel like crap and think, it's because I haven't done my kata for the day. So, and it's because I think, being women, we're all so busy. Like you said, you've got a bubby and, we probably all have kids and work and housework and all the rest of the stuff that comes with being a woman. And you give to everyone else first instead of giving to yourself first. So I think that that's a lot of the reasons that women, if we're talking about women, fail at their rituals, because they just think, I'll do it later, and then later never comes around, and I'll do it tomorrow. And if you don't do it first thing in the morning, then you normally find that you don't get around to doing it, unless you've got, your discipline, so you do it when you can fit it in. And even because we travel a fair bit too, so Mark and I might do stuff in, like a gratitude kata in the car park or in the hotel foyer. Sometimes we've been seen doing it. So, or I'll journal in the car. But yeah, it's a really important way to start your day and to be disciplined and to honour yourself enough to even take 5 minutes a day to do it.
What would you say to someone who's feeling that resistance to doing them or to making that time?
So I'd be asking them what else is going around that. Like, if they're resisting that, why are they resisting spending 5 minutes on themselves? What's going on in their life right now? And ask them why they can't honour themselves for 5 minutes for that day, and peel back some layers and just see what's going on.
Yeah. And what kind of rituals? Let's go into that actually. Like, what kind of things can you do? Like, what is a ritual? I mean,
So rituals can be anything. Rituals can be even making your cup of tea in the morning. That can be a ritual if you do it with mindfulness. So, like, do you want me to explain that? Just that one?
Yeah. I would love
so,
that.
Yeah. So even being mindful. So being mindful is making sure that you're in the present moment, right here, right now. And, sometimes we'll go to make a cup of tea and then one of the kids yells out and, the washing machine stops, so you put the kettle on and you run and hang the washing out and the kids yell, and then you re-boil the kettle and then you do something else, and you've boiled the kettle 6 times before you get your cup of tea. Well, that's not being mindful. So it's about filling the kettle up and listening to the water go into the, to the kettle, and then putting the kettle down, turning the electricity on, and just standing there listening to the noises, waiting for the water to bubble, putting your tea bag in your cup, and just focusing on that one thing that you're doing. Not, thoughts are going to come and go, but just accepting the thoughts and go back to taking a breath and letting those thoughts go, and just make it that you are actually enjoying making a cup of tea, and then go and sit with yourself mindfully and just drink your cup of tea. That is as easy as a ritual can be. It doesn't have to cost you a lot of money. It doesn't have to take up the whole of the day or hours. It's just, little things. Having a bath, that's a ritual. Lighting candles.
Sorry, go. Keep going.
No, you're right.
I was just going to say, I'm really glad you pointed out that it doesn't have to cost a lot of money, because I feel that money can seem like a barrier to people when it doesn't have to. And it's a beautiful example of mindfulness. I really love that. Just making it really simple and being able to integrate it into everyday life. So thank you. I'm grateful for you pointing that out. And what benefits have you found from committing to daily rituals?
I have benefited because I believe it sets me up with a positive mindset. I'm not jumping out of bed thinking, oh my God, I've got to get this done, I've got to get that done, I've got to go here, got to go there. I take the time for myself so that I ground myself and set myself up so that if things do fall out of alignment, as they do, we're all human and life happens, doing my rituals and honouring myself allows me to stay focused and not let the little things become big things. Does that make sense? Yeah, because I'm honouring myself and loving on myself and taking that time for myself, I find it sets me up with intention and with positivity and with love and gratitude. And when things do happen, it's just not a big deal. And that's how I believe that it's helped me, by doing my rituals.
And why do you think that's so important? I mean, there's lots of people out there that might not realize the importance of that.
The importance of setting yourself up for the day, do you mean?
Yeah, and just prioritizing yourself.
Yeah, because if we don't fill our cups first, and like I just said before, being women, we're nurturers, so we want to give to everybody all the time. However, we put ourselves on the back burner because we don't think we're worthy enough. We don't think that we should spend time on ourselves, etc. So being able to fill my cup, and that's what I teach all my ladies, is to fill their cup first, so that, and accepting themselves, so that you can give yourself 100% to everyone else in your family, your colleagues, your husband, whoever, your community. Because if you're less judgmental of yourself, you're taking that time for yourself, you're loving on yourself, then you're less judgmental of other people. You've got more time for other people, and you've got more love to give because you love yourself more. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. It definitely does.
Does that answer? Yeah.
It does answer it. And I feel it's why I love working with mums, because I feel like filling your cup as a mum, you can give more to your children and inspire your children to chase their dreams. If you're chasing yours, they can chase theirs because you're role modelling that. So
important, Marla. So, and your children are very blessed that you're doing this work while they're little, that they get the benefits of that. It's so important.
Thank you. And what support resources are available for people to do rituals?
Yeah. So what is there out there for people?
Yeah, definitely. Like, what is out there? What kind of where have you looked to find rituals, or like what tools do you use?
Yeah. So rituals, I've learnt, because I've done a lot of programs, I've had my own coaches. I've still got a coach now. And I've done a lot of online programs. I've done workshops. So whenever I immerse myself in something like that, I'll learn new tools which I can use as rituals. So, you can buy books on rituals. You can go onto Google. If you don't have a lot of money, go onto Google and find 3 rituals to do every day. You can, like I said before, you can make just your normal everyday things that we do, you can use as a ritual. It could be as easy as lighting a candle, writing 5 lines of how you're feeling, blowing your candle out. Like, that's a ritual. Anything that you could be making your bed could be a ritual. It's just doing things mindfully and honouring yourself while you're doing it.
Yeah. And what are your top 3?
My top 3 would be my gratitude carta, my EFT, which is emotional freedom technique, and journaling. They're probably the 3 that I really love. And I always pull a card every day too. So my cards are really important to me as well.
And if you could only do one, which one would you do?
My gratitude carta.
Okay, beautiful. And now, what in general, just in terms of like your business and coaching and life, I guess, what hurdles have you personally faced and how have you overcome them?
Well, pardon me, what hurdles have I faced and how have I overcome them? So I guess anxiety is a hurdle. We also had a daughter who nearly died from anorexia, which is where it was a huge hurdle, and that's what actually sent me on the path to start to learn personal development and look after myself. And the things I've done is found online programs, found in-person workshops, got my own coach to be able to learn more tools so that when life does become very challenging and, when I could easily have slipped right back into self-sabotage and be where I used to be, I now have tools that I use so I don't ever get that low. I'm aware of how I'm feeling. I'm aware of what my body's doing. And I think that's a really big lesson in working on yourself is the more of this work that we do, the more aware of how we're really feeling are. And you know when you're starting to slip that little bit, you're just like, oh my God, I realise I'm self-sabotaging, or wow, I know that I'm slipping off a bit. So I'll pull out whatever tool I've got to support me. So it might be more journaling, it might be pulling out more cards, it might be more gratitudes, whatever it is to support me, or EFT to support me to get through whatever it is that's coming up. It's really important to have those tools.
Yes, I don't know where I'd be without my toolbox, and it's how, in my experience of like postnatal depression especially, it was having my tools, my daily rituals, my coaching, like foundation coaching. I feel grateful to myself for doing coaching because it's helped me so much, and it pulled me through that tough period. So I totally understand.
And not having them, would you have self-sabotaged?
Yeah, even with them, I found myself self-sabotaging, and I had to go really deep and really strongly into them to get past that self-sabotage. And it still comes up, of course, it still comes up, so it's constantly going back to that and reframing and regrouping and recommitting to it constantly.
And can I just point out too, Marla, that we are still human, and you've done a lot of work and so have I. However, we are human, and just because we do this doesn't mean that we're infallible and we don't have days like that. Of course we still do. We're just blessed that we have the tools.
Yeah, absolutely. What makes you feel inspired or like your best self?
Makes me feel inspired. What makes me feel inspired? supporting women. Is that what you mean? Like that lights me up. That is my passion, and my whole purpose in life is to support women. That's what I feel that I'm here to do. So that knowing that I've supported one woman a day, you know, to say, oh, wow, Karina, I thank you for that tool, or wow, that's really changed my life, you showing me that, or whatever, or pointing that out to me, that makes me feel like my job is done. Like I've supported someone to enable them to have a beautiful day, and hopefully the next time a challenge comes up, they can use that, whatever it is I've supported them with, to get them through the next challenge that comes up.
And what are you curious about right now?
Curious about, what am I curious about? Where I'll be in 12 months' time. Curious about if I'll be doing what I foresee I'm going to be doing in 12 months' time, travelling more, supporting more women globally, reaching out to more people. That's probably something I'm really curious.
Yeah. And do you have a vision for the next 12 months?
I do. I want to be supporting more women globally. I have a following of women around the world, and I just want to create that to be bigger. And I want to build more communities, a bigger community, because I've already creating a community, but I want to build a bigger and bigger and bigger community of women who empower other women to be empowered. That's really important to me.
Okay, awesome. And I have like a few like kind of rapid fire quick questions to like round up, and then I'd love to share how people can connect with you after that. But what's your favorite book?
The Mastery of Love.
Okay. And room, desk and car, which would you clean first?
Room.
And what profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Acting.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome. I've always loved drama as well. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how weird are you?
How weird am I? 1 being least and 10 being the most weirdest? Probably an 8.
Yeah.
I'm probably an 8.
Cool. I love it. And what do you wish you'd know? What one thing do you wish you know when you first started your business?
How to, what's one thing I wish I knew when I first started my business? How challenging that this work is, and how to stay focused. I do now. At the start, as you probably know, it's very tough. Yeah.
And if you could remove all barriers and constraints, what one project would you work on, and would you want to be known for?
I'd like to, if I had no restraints, etc., I'd love to build, not only for women, I'd love to support children that are in need, and create a safe space for them to come to, and teach them these sort of tools that we know, to be able to empower them throughout their life to be able to have a better life.
Beautiful. And what's the best compliment you've ever received?
You've changed my life. That makes me cry most times. Yeah.
And what does elevating your life and soul mean to you?
It means that elevating my life means that I get to keep learning, I get to keep working on myself, I get to keep peeling back layers of myself, and then I get to show up 100% for my clients that I'm serving and supporting.
Thank you so much. Is it, before I get you to share how people can connect with you, is there anything else that I should have asked you but I haven't, that you would like to share?
No, some of them were really tricky questions too.
Oh,
No, that was awesome, Marla. Thank you.
great. And so, yeah,
I like
how
those last ones at the end, those quick ones.
good.
They were
Yeah,
good.
it's good to have some fun in there, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
And how can people connect with you? And what's like, what are you launching out into the world that people can take a look at and jump
Yeah,
into?
sure. So I've got a website, www.karinabarrett, and I can maybe get you to put that on the
Yeah, I'll put
link.
all this in the show notes and stuff. So
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah. And all of my programs, etc., are on there. I'm on Facebook as Karina Barrett, and LinkedIn and Instagram. And I've got 2 programs. I've got one starting in January, which is a 21-day self-love rituals to ignite your soul. So,
Beautiful.
really important to honour yourself. And then in February, I've got my signature program called Light Your Fire Coaching, which is it's a lot deeper program. It's an 8-week online program enabling women to fill their cup and really work on things that as women we're challenged with, like self-love, acceptance, boundaries, language, and lots of other things. And I get international speakers and guests to come in and talk on there, and they also get to learn EFT and do one-to-one with me in that program. And I do one-to-one coaching and EFT coaching.
Beautiful. Well, this should be going out in January, so that will be the perfect time for your ritual program if people want to get a taste of what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely link that in, and then they can go from there. So thank you so much for being on here. I'm so grateful. And yeah, I will talk to you again very, very soon.
Thanks very much, Marla, for having me as your first guest. I feel really grateful and blessed that you've allowed me to do that. Talk to you soon.
Thank you so much for listening to today's show. If you like it, subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you love this episode, please give it an honest review on iTunes and let me know what you loved and what you want more of. Your feedback helps me truly elevate the show into something that really serves you and allows me to keep pouring my heart and soul into it. This is for you. Let's rise together. And remember, know your value, know your worth. I love you, beautiful soul.